Actually, it's very dangerous to have a sister get up here and talk about her brother. After I had spoken at 3 of his memorials after he died, my comment was, if I'm asked to speak at one more, I'm going to start telling the truth. As most of you know, I worked with Bill when he was the pastor at St. Pius Parish in Coeur d'Alene. I was his associate. My first memory of being there, one of my first memories of being in Coeur d'Alene, was the press conference that was called by the pastors of the different churches to make a public statement that they did not think of and believe the Aryan Nations was a Christian church, even though they used Christian as their title. And I can remember how brave I felt sitting there with all these other pastors making this profound statement that I had no clue what we were talking about. And we went to, I remember going, Rick Moore's First Christian pastor at First Christian Church was really kind of spearheading it at that time. And they had just a little church. On Sunday mornings there'd be 34, 35 people in the sanctuary. But those people were so brave because they were starting to get threatening phone calls, leaflets left at their church that if they continued to speak out against the Aryan Nations, the church would be destroyed. And Rick went to his people and said, okay, what do you want me to do? And they voted unanimously to continue. If they simply said, they destroy our church, they destroy our church, but we have a message here. And I remember going down to one of the meetings in the basement of their church when there were more people there with the Nazi armbands on than there were of us. And that was kind of much of the beginning. Then when Rick Morris left, he kind of asked Bill to continue. One of the things I guess I want to say about Bill is I think we need to be very careful we don't make a superhero out of him and put him up on some kind of a pedestal, because then that becomes a cop-out for us. We can't be like that, and therefore we don't have to do anything. Bill was very human. He was very talented. He was an educated, he was an intelligent, he was a charismatic, a good speaker. He had a lot of good abilities. He also had some faults. I won't go into those. Anybody wants me to talk privately, I would be happy to. But the thing is, he kind of got thrown into this. When his house got bombed, it was like he was in the spotlight now, and he could have backed out at that stage and simply said, no, I don't think I want to do this. This is too dangerous. Because he continued getting death threats even when he was in Seattle. But he didn't. He took the opportunity, he went ahead, but he also knew he needed a support group. One of the beautiful things that happened the night that his house was bombed is pastors from different churches all came over and prayed with him and stayed with him, because he was at the total set of nerves, because it could have been turned out very differently. He could have been killed, obviously. The last couple of years of Bill's life were also very important. After he retired from the Northwest Coalition Against Malicious Harassment, and as you know, he was diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. I can't say the big Latin thing. Basically, he had to let go of his ability to move, his ability to speak, his ability to communicate, all of these things that basically had given him a big persona. He had to let go of those. And I guess I sometimes wonder if when the whole dust of history settles down, if we aren't going to remember Bill, not just for his human rights work, but for the way that he was able to face those last couple of years and face his own death. And so, yes, he's a model for us, he's a hero for us, and he can show us some example here. But let's not, like I said, put him up on a pedestal where we feel we don't have to, okay, he's safely up there and we can admire him from afar. Using his example, but just remember, he was one of us. Thank you.